Hi, Paula. It's so good to see you.
Hi, Maggie. Nice to hear from you.
So I am here in the studio recording Monday marketing meetings, and you are in Central Utah in Wildland Gardens. Is that correct?
Absolutely. I'm in Joseph, Utah, to be exact. It's about 15 miles south of Richfield in central Utah.
And Richfield is about 2.5 hours-ish away from Salt Lake, or what's it like to get there?
So, yeah, exactly. 2.5 hours from Salt Lake, 2.5 hours north of St. George. So, pretty much central Utah.
Which is magical in its own right because it is far enough away to feel like it's far away, but it's also in the middle of everything. Like in the middle of nothing, but in the center of awesome, which is what I've said a couple times, right?
That is a really, really good way to put it. I agree 100%.
So tell me a little bit about what Wildland Gardens is and what you've got going on. And then I guess we can just contextualize it by saying that we met through a mutual friend, Carrie, who is not able to be on the call today. But from that mutual friend, you and I have developed a really close friendship. And you're both connected to this little slice of amazingness in central Utah. And I really enjoy spending time there. So I like to talk about everything, the projects that are going down, and then we have some that we're going to be working on moving forward. But just contextualizing how I know you a little bit, and then why don't you tell me about all the goodness that is down there in Wildland Gardens?
Well, if I can put it in a nutshell, which I probably can't, but Wildland Gardens is the offspring of Wildland Nursery, which what is my mom's native plant nursery, which she started 20 years ago. And so she specializes in plants that are native to the Intermountain West and that are drought tolerant and take low maintenance and are beautiful. And she retired a year and a half ago. And Carrie, that you mentioned, who can't be here, is my business partner, and the two of us have taken it over and we've turned it into a multi-purpose facility where we have glamping tents and a beautiful house that we rent on Airbnb, and we also have the nursery, which we are keeping going, and growing plants. And additionally, this year, well, we were planning to anyway, but because of the coronavirus, it's really I guess, brought to the forefront of the need for it. We are going to be growing food, and we have a farmer's market starting June 6th. So fingers crossed we'll be able to do the full-on farm fest as we know and love it, which includes live music and breakfast and craft vendors. But we are going to be definitely selling fresh, locally grown produce. And really what we are trying for is to market a whole experience, because as you know, it's a magical setting in central Utah in the middle of nowhere, but also in the middle of everything, because we
The
are,
center of awesome.
I know, you know what, the center of awesomeness. I'm going to go with that. But so we're close to Zion's, close to Fish Lake, close to Capitol Reef, close to Bryce, and just a really good starting point where people can come and hang out. And we're going to be promoting zero waste and sustainability and the things that are good for the planet, but also just good for the human spirit. And really, we were talking about it a little bit earlier, where right now we are a perfect place to do social distancing, because we're social, as you know it, but we're also in a situation where it's open air, and
Mhm.
the glamping, yeah, and the glamping tents and the cabin are perfect for being able to have a space where you can come and hang out, and we're out in nature, and it's just a beautiful, perfect place to be. So yeah, there you go.
And I'm so excited to be able to spend some more time in the spring and the summer. And I keep threatening that I'm going to build a yurt and plop it on the property and then just partly move in. And I am not actually like that joking about that. You've done a really good job of creating, even though I've only seen it in the winter, of creating this really like boho living area with the
That's a
tents and the mini
perfect way to put
cabins.
it. I love that. Yes, exactly. Boho.
Yes, it is. It's very Instagrammy, and uh, you're not affiliated with a hot springs area that's close and very kind of social media based. Either you're not affiliated with it, although it's accessible. And
Yeah, there are a
then
couple of different places where we have hot springs close by. So yeah.
yeah, and those are really like picture friendly. And then
Yeah.
the whole like, I don't want to say estate because it's like the opposite of estate, but the whole homestead that you're living on is
That is
just
a great
literally
way to
picture
put it.
perfect too.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah, I can't
Yeah.
wait to come and do some of the ideas for photography that you have. People need to
Yeah.
come.
Yeah, and Joey, who is on or helping me create this stream, was the photographer that was going to do the bathtub shoot on this coming Saturday, which we
Uh-huh.
postponed because we knew COVID was coming, but I don't think
Yeah.
anybody realized it was going to be quite so drastic. So
Yeah.
postponing that, and I'm sure all it will take is a conversation for you and I to reschedule that. But what else has COVID looked like for you? Have you gotten hit on the Airbnb market, or I can only assume so?
You know what? It's been really, really interesting because to some extent, yes, we have been hit in that the international travelers have all canceled.
Yeah.
However, what's been really cool and interesting is that we've had
Local.
more people coming from Salt Lake for weekend getaways, or also we've had people that have been traveling across the country to go and be with family where we are so it's just such a great location. I mean, we're really halfway between Los Angeles and Denver. So we've had several people that have come and stayed in the glamping tents and in the cabin where they were traveling across country. And we've actually closed down the house on Airbnb
Okay.
because of COVID. But so we've lost that part out. But the tents and the glamping tents and the cabin have been really not as busy, I would say, but picking up.
Good.
We've
I
been
mean,
picking up lately more. Yeah. It's
so I saw your posting that the farmers market is considered essential. So best case scenario, farmers market still goes forward.
the
Do
food part of
you?
it definitely will go forward. Like things like I was telling you a little bit earlier about how my friend Heather Carter, Nature Hills Farms, she's awesome. Hashtag Nature Hills Farm. She she went to California to Santa Maria and got the most amazing organic, freshly harvested strawberries, and we sold. I mean, I sold a whole bunch of pre-sold a whole bunch of flats of those and scheduled people to come pick them up every 15 minutes. And while people were here last weekend, even though it was cold and raining, they bought plants out of the nursery. So it was really, really cool and a really good thing for our local food market, because here in Sevier County, we're considered a food desert. So, and actually the way I feel about it is that the quality of the strawberries that we just got, you can't buy those anywhere unless you go specifically to Santa Maria and buy them that day, because they were harvested on Friday morning and people were picking them up from us on Saturday. And so that's
Wow.
a big, yeah. So as far as like the food part and getting really great quality food, that's a big part of what we're about. And so it was really cool to be able to provide something for our local community where it's a positive thing in trying times. And because we're out in the open and because we scheduled it accordingly, where people could come every 15 minutes. It worked really, really well. And so that's just momentum that we've created going into our farmers market at the beginning of June. So yay.
Yay. And I mean, I'm glad that you're down there. I wish that Carrie could have been on the call, even though she doesn't get to be. Hi, Carrie, wherever you are right now. But I love the two of you working together, because Carrie has the big ideas and you're like the executioner, and not the like deadly way, but like the make shit happen type way.
I guess that's one way we can put it, like, right?
The doer. Like, I could see you running the strawberry pickup line so well.
You know, we're really doing our best to play upon each other's strengths, and I had a little bit of a head start being here, and I have incredible connections, and people in general just love what we're doing, and so it's just worked really well. She's got their great ideas. I mean, she's the one that came up with that remarkable jam recipe. Holy crap, I can't even wait for people to try that. And she's also, you know, she's been the really the one to execute the Airbnb part of what we're doing. I mean, the glamping tents were all her, and they're so cute. And you know, down the road, what we can do, which would be really cool, is just I can walk around with the phone and show you all of that.
Yeah, can you take us into the garden? Actually, you're pretty close to it.
Yeah, I can. I'll take the camera off me. Here we go. Here's our front yard, which everything is really cool and coming. They're leafing out and things are blooming. We have here we go.
Oh, there we go. Perfect.
Yeah. So tell me if you want me to slow down or focus on anything in particular.
No.
Again, we're like this week right now, in the last couple days, it's the first that we've had things where it's been warm enough for things to really start to leaf out quickly. What we're looking at here is my mom's landscape, which is 20 years in the making, primarily native plants, you know, trees that are established and beautiful. And here I'm walking over, see, and actually, so we have cottonwoods here that have not leafed out yet, but they're beautiful when they do.
And it just looks like it has clear air. I mean, one of the weird side effects of COVID that's been really positive is the clearer air in the valley. And I loved that coming through the winter, that we had less inversion. But one of the best parts about Joseph is just, it's like you can literally taste how clear the air is.
Yeah, I mean, you know, not exactly surprising necessarily, but I mean,
gardens look great.
Yeah, I'm loving it. So we've got, this is our greenhouse. The fan's on, so it's going to be a little bit loud, but you got to see how cute this is. Okay. This is all Carrie. This is Carrie in her retail experience here.
That is, it's definitely Carrie in her retail experience right there. Look how cute. I mean,
look at this. Look at how cute this display is right here. Is that a
succulent display?
This is a native plant display. This would be typical of more of a desert area, plants that are all more drought tolerant and low maintenance. And another thing that we're going to get big into is the herbal and medicinal stuff. So look at this Mormon tea right here.
Is that the one that tastes like root beer?
No.
Okay.
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
There's some plant that tastes like root beer when you make it into a tea, I promise.
Here's our food. This is
yum.
Excuse me. Blackberries and tomatoes, zucchini. This whole section right here is food.
Neat.
And towards the back, we're going with more of the natives and perennials, the succulents that are more drought tolerant. Back there in the back and towards the forefront here are annuals that we've just gotten in for people to come and make like baskets and pots for Mother's Day.
Neat.
Yeah, so, you know, it's cool. We're learning a lot.
You put a lot of work in since I've been there. It's a lot different.
Oh, gosh. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, you know, it's a different season, too. So here we're looking to the backyard. This is where you have weddings and receptions and, you know, whatever lunch and stuff that you want to do.
Yeah, I'm going to get married there too. I just need to figure that part out, but you know, it's going to happen.
All right. You know what? So this backfield here is about 4 acres that we are, we've gotten it fertilized and we are going to be, we're working out our irrigation system for it. And so we're going to be growing native trees and shrubs that you can't find anywhere else in this area. And additionally food, we'll do corn and potatoes and stuff like that on a larger scale. I want to have a corn maze actually. But look at the view, look at the mountains. Everything's just starting to turn green. And I always find it so dramatic and cool because it really changes from day to day based on the sky and the weather and the colors. But it's just the most amazing blend of textures and colors based on nature here. And then, you know, we're trying to keep it low key and work with nature as opposed to, you know, having crazy colors. So these are our glamping tents. There's 3 of them right now. And the tiny cabin, tiny house there. Trees. I mean, so, you know, there's a lot of potential and a lot of work to do here. And I mean, if anybody feels like coming down to nature and volunteering in the garden, you know, we're definitely open to that too. But it's been super fun just taking over what my mom started and building upon it.
What is your kind of longer term goals with the area are to create its own little sustainable farmstead and full event kind of resource area too, right?
Yeah, and to promote sustainability and zero waste. And a big part of what we want to do with you, my dear, is to teach classes in health and wellness and nutrition and just have it be an event center, a multi-purpose event center in a public garden.
Will we be at the place that, so I'm happy to come down and teach yoga and do small group sessions or social distance, however that has to be structured. Is there going to be a market for that? Like, do you think that that's still a possibility, or do we just structure it in a class perspective instead? And I'm happy to do that.
So actually, I think there's the possibility for both. I think if we do it right, that there are people who are in the immediate area that will definitely come, and then definitely the idea that we've gone back and forth with in terms of like doing retreats that where people come for the weekend. Excuse me. So people come for the weekend and they learn all about, you know, wellness in general, or we make it a specific, you know, hiking and yoga and hot spring weekend, you know?
All of my favorite things.
Right. I really think that all of that works perfectly together, and we're just in a perfect situation to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. What was I going to say? So farmers market starts in June, and
every Saturday from 9 to 12.
And then are you going to do the market in Torrey also, or?
Oh yeah, actually, thanks for reminding me. That's our plan as well, that we will pack up whatever we don't have, whatever we don't sell food-wise at our own market, and then also haul some native plants out there, because the plants definitely thrive in that area.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's a fun market. It's a fun place, and then we can also, you know, go camp somewhere on Saturday night, you know.
Do you know when the parks are reopening? Is Zion's back coming back online, or can you get into Capitol Reef now? Or
so actually, I heard that the national parks are all open now as of this last week, and then as far as the state parks go, It just depends. They're doing it from county to county.
Okay.
Some are open and some are not open. I saw a wonderful map the other day where it was showing what was and what wasn't. Yeah, and actually Wayne County, where Capitol Reef is, they're not, I haven't heard that they have opened up yet, but I feel like the way things are going,
By June, they probably will be. Yeah.
yeah, that it's starting to. And you know what, on that note, I mean, this is my own personal opinion, of course, but you know, I read and follow a couple of different people where they say that viruses in general follow a season, which they start the occurrence of the viruses. It starts to decline as the weather warms up, partly because people get more vitamin D exposure, which boosts your immune system.
Yeah. I get all of that.
Yeah, so we have all of that.
So I guess short-term plan, I am coming down as soon as possible, ideally this weekend. That's looking really good because I miss you and I miss sun and I miss not being in a city. So, and then you have the farmer's market coming up. You'll be taking that into Torrey. I'm going to try to dig in as much as I can as quickly as possible and to bringing some yoga down there, and then we'll figure out how to reconvene on that larger shoot idea and also try to circle in on doing something retreaty and figure out
we still have that summer solstice weekend in June. Your name is on that, so hopefully that'll work out. We'll play it by ear, but I don't know why it wouldn't by then.
That's what I thought 3 weeks ago too. So.
You know what? Sometimes we just have to be flexible, right? We don't always get what we want.
Yeah, and sometimes we get what we need. And you know,
in terms
speaking of that, I mean, our friendship has been one thing that's like a get what you need. Like you came into my life at a time when like we were able to just really click as two people spending time together, and we've kept it up. And I really
and being like-minded.
Yep, we agree on a lot of things, and we got in the car and we're just chatty Cathy's ever since then. So thank you so much for joining in on this call. Is there anything else that you wanted to make sure that you touched in on, or anything else to really look forward to?
No, not that I can think of right now. I think we got it all. I'm happy about it. Yeah.
It's really good to see you on Zoom. I can't wait to see you in person also. And thank you for your time. Go enjoy the rest of the beautiful day. And hopefully I will be standing with you in a little bit.
Cool. Yay. Thanks, Maggie.
Take care, Paula. It's so good to see you.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.